It is finished. Those are the three important words that I'll be talking about today. Hello there, I am Kyle of New Life Cagayan de Oro. And on behalf of our church, our leadership, and our lead pastors, Pastors Al and Rose Tabernero, we'd like to greet you, and a happy Holy Week. It's a very important season. It's a very important time that we are celebrating and remembering. And it's a good time to remember these things that we'll be talking about today. A lineup of great speakers have spoken before me, and I am just here to continue what they have started. And today, and in this time, let's go to John 19, verse 30, the part when Jesus said, "It is finished." This is the most important words, I would say, that Jesus said before his death. It was a declaration that culminates his work, his life here on earth. But to give you some context, and to give you some quick background about these words, let's learn what this word is all about. It is finished comes from the word tetelestai. And it means, to bring to a close. It means to finish, to end. It also means to perform, to execute, and to complete, and to fulfill. So that the thing done corresponds to what has been said, ordered, and commanded. To help us even more understand the depth of this word, let's learn how they used the word back then. On a servant's perspective, when his master asks him something to do, and the servant, completes the task that he has been given, he says to his master, "Tetelestai." In business, during a business transaction, when business, they have papers, to sign and all of these things. They have promises and laws and arrangements to fulfill and to do. And when that comes to a close and it becomes a closed deal, a closed transaction, they will put it right there, tetelestai. In religion, back then, when high priests, they do offerings, and I'm glad that I wasn't born that time, because should have been a bloody time. They do offerings, and oftentimes they have a lamb, a blameless, spotless lamb, and when the offering gets sacrificed and it is successful, the priest says, "It is finished." And in prison, in prison, people in prison back then in cells, they have a document put outside their cell that's listed there, where the person's sins and the person's crimes, the crimes he committed. It may be a person committed murder, or he is a rapist, or he committed incest, or he stole from government, or these things are listed in his cell. And time will come that person will be brought into judgment, and a person, a judge, will bring judgment to him. And when that person's judgment is liberty, or the person is freed from the sins that he commits, the judge will write on his paper, tetelestai, meaning he is granted freedom or liberty. Another thing, that is an application of the word tetelestai is actually during when a person or an artist makes a beautiful masterpiece. When an artist makes a masterpiece, may it be a painting or a sculpture, the artist does the work and does the finishing touches. And after that, the artist steps back one step, two steps, three steps, until the artist gets the perspective. The picture gets so clear, and when he sees that the art is complete, there is nothing you can add to that, he says, tetelestai. And Jesus gracefully brought to this earth the masterpiece of redemption. In Colossians 2:17, this talks about shadows of things that is to come. It says there, such things are only shadows of the things to come, and they are only a symbolic value. But the reality, the substance, the solid fact of what is foreshadowed, the body of it, yung pinakakatawan nito belongs to Christ. Jesus fulfilled everything that was promised. Everything that the laws and the prophets talked about, Jesus came to fulfill it. That is why he said, "It is finished." The death of Jesus Christ finished the masterpiece of redemption. All the suffering of the lambs, yung mga kawawang lambs na yun that died on behalf of the people who sinned, those were shadows, foreshadowing what Jesus was about to do on the cross. Christ satisfied God's judgment, God's justice, by dying for all to pay for the sins of man, for the sins of you and me. And these sins can never be punished again because it's a done deal. Once and for all, he died for us. Sins can only be punished once, either by a substitute or by yourself. But in this case, some people say we're lucky, but I say you're blessed that Jesus took our place. He became the lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. There is no more price for us to pay. Aren't you glad about that, Because Jesus has done it all for us. Now, there is no more self-inflicted suffering or even money that can add to the finished work of Christ. Because, people, they want to suffer for it pa. Some people even want to pay for their salvation. But Jesus says, it is finished. What's left for us to do now is just to accept the finished work of Christ. If we cannot add something to it, if we can't do anything to complete it, kasi kompleto na it is finished na what's left for us is actually just to receive it. Receive Christ today and enjoy the benefits of his finished work. It is finished, ladies and gentlemen. It is finished.